The fierce war between Russia and Ukraine is entering a new phase. How could it not be? In just about 72 hours, Russia increased its advantage and built a strong defense. This put the Kiev troops in a corner and on the verge of major defeat. Even the Ukrainian military is no longer shy about using the terms sustained defensive fighting, significant deterioration, or Russia's tactical success. Quoting CNN International's analysis, this pessimistic statement gives an idea of how bad Ukraine's current condition is. The Russians were not just making slow progress in one place, but they seem to be advancing in 4 steps across the front line. This large-scale Russian movement cannot be separated from the momentum of the delay in military aid to Ukraine worth $61 billion, which is likely to be distributed within a month. So Russian President Vladimir Putin appears to be doing whatever he can, knowing that the fight will likely get even tougher for his troops next summer. The first and most troubling is the northern border near Kharkiv, Ukraine's second-largest city. Russian troops have crossed the border at various locations and claim to have captured 9 villages. Their move of 3 to 4.5 miles, 5 to 7 kilometers, into Ukraine in the border area above the city of Kharkiv was arguably their fastest advance since the first days of the war. Russia has deployed 5 battalions to the border town of Vovchansk, Ukrainian officials said, which was hit by airstrikes over the weekend. The city of Lipsy is also in danger, some military bloggers said, and from there Russian troops could attack Kharkiv with artillery. This is a nightmare for Kiev for 2 reasons. First, they liberated the region from Russian forces 18 months ago, but clearly failed to fortify the region to prevent Moscow from easily counterattacking. Second, Russia could again tie down Ukraine's overwhelming numbers with persistent and violent pressure on Kharkiv, resulting in casualties with heavy shelling in the sprawling city center. Then there was another front, where progress in the Kharkiv region reflected a long and exhausting struggle that suddenly led to new successes for Russia. This should be of greatest concern to Kiev, as it suggests a coordinated effort to push in all directions and leaves Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky with terrible choices about where to send limited resources and where to make sacrifices. Moving slowly south from Kharkiv, closer to Bakhmut, the city of Chasiv Yar is under intense pressure, a very high level above Ukraine's 2 main military cities, Kramatorsk and Sloviansk, which could become a huge pressure point on Kiev's supply lines during summer. Nedelov and Krasnohorivka a little further south show Russian forces making further progress west of Avdiivka, and threatening another important center, Pokrovsk. If Ukraine starts to pull back even further, its grip on what remains of the Donetsk region could be threatened. Overnight, Deep State Map, a Ukrainian military analysis group, said the southern village of Verbove was under greater threat, one of the minimal results of a stalled summer counteroffensive on Kiev last year. Overall, the bad news is that this is a growing disaster. There has been strong criticism over the failure to prepare and fortify the northern border region over the past year. It is true, on most of the front lines where no active fighting was taking place, and near the active front lines, fortifications appeared to be non-existent, perhaps even non-existent. CNN thinks it's possible that Kiev was too confident in its counteroffensive last summer, that it failed to entertain the idea of bad news this summer.